ما ينفعش ما ينفعش لازم أقدمك يا دكتور.
I have to introduce you first, doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, the session now is starting under the title of Add AI to Your Innate Intelligence with Dr. Ahmed Amara, the mental health consultant, motivational speaker, and psychiatrist. Please go ahead, doctor. Peace be upon you all. How are you? Are you all doing good? Let's start with a nice story. Once upon a time, in the old ages, there has been a creature called human being. A human being, ever since its existence on Earth, was looking for the places where he would find or she would find fruits and was basically hunting until a discovery happened that changed the course of the human being's life. They discovered that they can actually plant instead of traveling towards where food is. And we used to live as travelers without a set location, always traveling around the world without having a home or something that I build family in. I discovered that I can actually plant things. So they discovered something upon which numerous experiences had been built that led to something that is called the agricultural revolution. It was the biggest revolution that had a qualitative leap in the human life. They started to have societies, families, building in their communities. They were able to secure food and security. Years and decades go by up until the human being discovered another discovery or another invention, an enormous one, something that makes this, which is electricity. And with numerous experiences and how can I make the best of it, another qualitative leap in the history of mankind happened, which is called the Industrial Revolution, a huge revolution that has been created. And pay attention to this important part. With each revolution, according to the law of the universe, there are advantages and disadvantages. You'll have people who are being laid off because we will not need them anymore, and so many other opportunities are created, way more than those who have been cancelled or been outdated. And this industrial revolution led to so many inventions up until we discovered that through electricity we could have movement, and from that we have the engines and then industries, and we have leaps in industries, textile, automotive, and so on and so forth. And instead of having an individual who has only an animal as a mean of transportation, now we have automobiles, and we have so many other inventions that we can use instead of people using everything and doing everything manually. And that, of course, requires a lot of time and contains the human error. Now we have machines, and we have engineers, and people who have experience on how to handle such machines. In this world that we live in, we are, and please focus on what I'm saying, we are on the verge of a new discovery. It's not a revolution, it's a discovery. Like we have discovered the fact that we can plant, that would lead us to the agricultural revolution, and discovered electricity that led us to the industrial revolution. We discovered that machines can learn. And we have created tools that makes machines learners. Therefore, it's very important for all of our guests and the entire humanity to be ready for the coming revolution based on this discovery. We haven't really witnessed it yet. We're still trying to find their footing here. We will have a revolution that will be written in the future history, that it is the greatest revolution the greatest, more than any other revolution that the human being has witnessed or have witnessed. Another discovery, we discovered that we can connect various machines, and they can connect to each other and send information to each other, and that is the internet. And based on the internet, we have a huge revolution in the field of commerce, and we have e-commerce. It has been magnified and tripled and quadrupled even, and made drastic transformations in anyone working in the business sector. Therefore, we need to all be ready for this future revolution. Yet, with what is happening with these fast and rapid developments, certain ideas, certain doubts may appear that probably this is going to impact our lives. Some people would think that probably certain jobs will be eliminated. That may harm us. Machines may use us, may control us. All of these ideas are popping up, and these doubts, we know that fear is an accompanying state. It's an accompanying state to human beings. As long as human beings are there, fear is going to be there. And of course, its opposite is there, which is security. The most important thing is to which you are going to surrender and how you will deal with life based on what givings that you decide. So before I go on with our lecture today, I would like to make a distinction for our dear guests today between the innate intelligence and the artificial intelligence. One of the most beautiful pieces of information about innate intelligence, some of you may be surprised with, is that up until this moment, despite the scientific development in the field of psychology, the psychologists are still in argument regarding the definition of intelligence. Every time they discover deeper and deeper things that would destroy the previous definition. So we have various theories about intelligence, about its kinds, and we have other information, for example, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, analytic intelligence, practical intelligence, existential intelligence, music intelligence, so many types. Therefore, we cannot really have an IQ test and say that this individual is smart, and he may actually fail this test because, despite being a genius. Then what are they intelligent about? I'm going to give you some type of terminology for us to adopt so that we are aware of or know a little bit what is innate intelligence. If we consider intelligence is the ability to analyze and use the available variables and learning from our mistakes to come up with solutions. This is a comprehensive, unending solution with innate intelligence, but it's not applied to any type of other intelligence, because this type of intelligence is the only one, the innate intelligence is the only one that works without having any prior information. For example, if we have a child presented with a situation for the first time in their lives, first time seeing the object in front of them, first time learning how it is used, without really having a goal to achieve, they will actually come with a solution. A machine will never be able to do that. So, for example, if a child is existed or placed in a place that is new to them, having tools that he has never used before, and without having a goal to reach, and also there is a problem that they need to solve, his innate or her innate intelligence will come up with a solution that they haven't had any type of experience with before to come up with a solution for the issue. And this is what we call the adaptation and development, because we are adaptive, developing, ever-evolving creatures. And the most important point, we are connected to an unending source of abilities, which is the God of the universe. This is the innate intelligence. What about artificial intelligence? I'm going to give you a piece of information. Any human being who studied deeply AI will discover that is a compound stupidity. It's compound stupidity called intelligence. So it's stupidity analyzed by stupidity, analyzed by stupidity. You have to tell them what they do. You have to tell artificial intelligence what they need to do, or it will fail or will stop. Therefore, there's no way for artificial intelligence to perform any task without having prior information about it. So, for example, AI is capable now, for example, in the field of medicine, is able to check out the X-ray results and analyze it accurately and provide us with the diagnosis for the disease. Yet, if it was not fed with thousands and hundreds of thousands of X-ray results to learn from, to discover the disease or make the diagnosis, it would have been impossible for it to do so. Human beings are not like that. Have them in a situation where they are first with the disease for the first time. Human beings will be able, through their own innate abilities, be able to diagnose from the first or second time. This is innate intelligence opposing to artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence can analyze given data and information, and will never work without such data. If you don't have data, it's a mute machine without any outcome. Another example. A child wasn't taught how to strengthen their feet muscles and controlling their balance, or not giving any type of information, yet they saw their father or mother walking, so they set a goal. Based on such goal, they will learn skills that are still unknown to scientists up until this moment. They don't know how kids learn how to walk, so that they are simulating what they are learning or they are seeing, and they acquire this new skill. This is innate intelligence. But any type of artificial intelligence, if you do not feed into AI how to do things, and there is a programmer to feed them the detailed steps in the most analyzed, stupid way, because they need to anticipate the various possibilities and feed that into the intelligence, artificial intelligence, because if not all capabilities or possibilities are inserted within the artificial intelligence, it will not be able to function properly. Yes, we know that AI would save us tons of time, so that and they are actually, AI is very creative in what is routine work. So the AI is very impressive on anything that is repeated based on data, and everything that is routine work, even with the complexity of AI. They are making or solving the millions and millions of operations in part of a second. This is the function of AI that we cannot do. They go through thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of data to take a decision. We are not supposed to be doing this part. That's why we give it to AI. Another simple example. In Egypt, because he gave him another better working mic, he is telling him a compliment that this is a good thing. Thank you very much for doing it. Anyways, giving you a simple example. Individuals, even if we come up with the fastest computer in the world, recording all the information that they witness or they see. If I tell you, do you remember the first day you went to school? In 50 second, you'll be able to remember or get the memory. But a computer will take more time because they need to go through all the data they have. They will take time, they will take energy, they will take electricity, they will all sorts of processing energy to come up with the same thing that you came up with in a 50-second. So it shows the brilliance of our brains that can conjure an image and a memory in less than a second. Your innate intelligence comes up with such result. How? No one knows. Yet a computer needs to process all the stored data to come up with the same result. But some people may feel a little bit nervous or worried. I've actually witnessed it with other people I've seen in sessions or companies. They would feel that their field of work is threatened because of the strong pace by which AI is entering the field that I was distinguished in or I was excellent in, and they're doing it easily to the extent that anyone who doesn't have my skills or experiences is able to do my job. For example, one of the students I was speaking to them, and they said that a long time ago I had a studio, and it was the main income of this studio is taking pictures of individuals and would separate the background and had other type of background. Who would use the Photoshop for 2 to 3 hours to have people to provide them with this product, and would have people pay a very good amount of money for this service. That was his main income. Now, you just have a picture and pick from thousands and thousands of ideas. That actually happens in videos. Now he's a bit terrified. So it's very important, if you are now, whichever the field you're in, if you feel worried or anxious from the artificial intelligence interference, you need to pay attention to the following points. Number one, that means you are not developing. You develop to a certain level, and then you remained static for a long time. That is a signal for you to evolve, and evolve in the right direction, not the wrong direction, meaning I'll give you a rule set by God in the universe. It's very important that everyone, hopefully, will be aware of it in their lives. That may happen because people don't really know why do we exist on this earth. One of the reasons why we are here on earth, including the concept of worship, is development and betterment. The number of texts that indicate the importance of betterment in all of the religious textbooks use this as a rule, not only in artificial intelligence, but in every other field. If you do not better yourself in a certain field or any field, all of the rules and laws of the universe will work against you, so that you will face a specific issue or problem in this field, so that you would develop on it. Therefore, those who do not work on bettering themselves and developing themselves will face issues. So if you feel worried, that means that you have been doing the same thing for the same result for a long time. Another rule: if you're going to do the same thing the same way, know from a psychiatrist that you're doing it feeling bored, without passion, without joy. Because this type of passion and joy that God placed amongst us will come up, or you will feel it only when you develop new things, when you better yourself, when you try to discover new things and develop and evolve. Number two,
إن
you are not aware of your own capabilities as a human being. Your capabilities is absolutely endless. You certainly have heard about our capabilities are endless. Let me explore this concept with you. I'd like you to explore this in a short anecdote, short story. If we go back in time, 100 years back, and we have a device that measures people's capabilities 100% accuracy. We have a device that measures people's capabilities with 100% accuracy. We got that measurement, and that device can only measure that thing. And we left that device for 100 years. And after 100 years, we bring the same device that measures the capabilities. You will find this multiplied in 1,000,000. Because our capability is elastic, it improves, it evolves based on the circumstance, based on the situation, based on the circumstance where we are in, based on the environment, based on temperature, based on financial situation, health, so on and so forth. Many variables come into play. Remember this. New capabilities are being created within us because the seeds that make us live in a better life, the seeds are there. And when we go through a circumstance, those seeds are being watered and they are sprouts, and new plants come to existence, and each plant produces fruits and seeds. And we are not aware of the source of this first seed. Therefore, if I'm not aware of that, if I feel I'm concerned, I need to be aware that as a human being, I'm full with skills, capabilities. When I'm being provoked, the more capabilities emerge. This device doesn't have that option. The device is absolutely limited based on what's the program. For instance, when we started the deep learning, the word deep learning means it's very limited if you compare it to what's taking place in the human's mind or human's brain. It's absolutely limited, the deep learning, compared to what the brain could do. But they are amazed at the speed where the machine works. For instance, when we had the first tournament or first competition between the chess between machine and human, the world chess champion used to beat the machine. There was a competition between the human and the machine in chess. So whenever the machine fails, they put data to improve it to the point when machine beats human. The world was in shock. The machine beats a human being in chess. But we are talking about the repetitive mechanisms. If we have a device that calculates all possibilities, the machine will figure out the possibilities. But as a human being, you are not required to calculate. You are required to throw the chess and invent a new game. That's it. You will find the machine or the computer will give up. It will not be able to compete in a new game. Focus. If you put the chess aside, the machine won't be able to compete with you in any other game. So I could like cards, for instance. The machine cannot be, so I can teach the machine how to play cards. Then the machine will be really an idiot. So I will have to data entry for the machine to improve the skills with regard to cards. This is the distinction between a human being with unlimited capabilities being reformed, being renewed based on the circumstance. On the other hand, the other point, this machine will remain, no matter what, no matter how complex, it will remain limited in a very small domain. The third point, which is a very crucial point, which is it's a psychological point of view and a religious one as well, that any circumstance on this planet, ever since the inception of this planet, any circumstance you go through, you can go through, because you can go through any circumstance as long as you are born in this time. As long as you are born in this time, if you have this challenge as an artificial intelligence, you'll be able to come through this. In other words, in Quran says, within you have the capacity, the power to overcome any circumstance you may come through. So this is a clear indication that these are other elements you can expand. You can expand to incorporate any challenge. This is what the Creator says in Quran. And this capacity to expand is also highlighted in the human's memory. Your memory can expand, unlimited. Any device is limited by the capacity, but human memory, as in the memory in the science, if you have the intention to memorize each and every book in Sheikh Zayed and Muhammad bin Rashid library, you will be able to memorize that. Your memory will expand to include all those books. Your memory will expand to incorporate any new data. No machine can do that. So I need to realize those capabilities and gifts I have within to utilize them. The third point, so I can deal with any circumstance, no matter what, as long as I'm calm. The fourth point, now we still talk about if you are concerned, if you feel concerned in the face of what's taking place in the artificial intelligence, self-development is not a luxury. It's not a fun. It's a trend. It's not a trend. It's not a luxury. It's not fun. Self-development is the foundation that you need to rely on. It's because in studies it pointed out that in 2050 the artificial intelligence will delete 85,000 professions, and this could be a source of fear. This can be scary, but you forget something. Anything in the world we have in the positive and negative, pros and cons. The artificial intelligence will eliminate 85 million jobs by 2050, and it will create 97,000 millions jobs. By the 2050, there will be 97 million jobs created thanks to artificial intelligence. But it will also delete and cancel other jobs. So if you don't develop yourself, you will not catch up. Part of our mission on this planet. Do you remember one of those, a very shocking story? One of the biggest companies in the world, Kodak, this big company that used to dominate the camera market and the camera sectors and film. Kodak, it used to be a big company that dominates the market, camera and photos and all that. And they used to have studios everywhere where you can process photos and so on and so forth. So Kodak, this is a big company, used to be dominant. You dominated the sector or the industry for too long. When we used to take these traditional photos, now this company, this massive, gigantic company that used to dominate the sector or the industry, a young man comes along and says, proposed digital camera. Remember, this young man was from their country, from their side, and he used to do that research, and they found that the digital. But they said, what digital camera you are talking about? They said, if this digitalized camera, if it appears, it will ruin our market. However, other companies embraced the digital camera, and they took the rights from Kodak, and they manufactured the camera. And Kodak thought that we are dominating the market. And Sony took over, and all of a sudden, we could see that Kodak is no longer dominates, and it was too late to take action because it was too late. Other companies took over by dominating digital camera. Kodak was too late, so it started closing the branches. Now you cannot have the traditional camera. This is went extinct. So a very important point, I will take two pieces of information. The first one, the evolution, development is inevitable. Inevitable, you cannot avoid it. Any power on this planet that could stop artificial intelligence will fail because Earth is evolving. It's not option. It's not optional. Earth is evolving. The second law, when you are being evolved, that doesn't dominate the domain. It eliminates the tool. When there is evolution or progress, it doesn't dominate or doesn't delete the domain. It deletes the tool. For instance, travel. People will keep on traveling, but it used to be on foot. Now, on the animals, on the wheel, on cars, people travel on different means. So, evolution changes and evolves the tools. It doesn't evolve, delete the domain of travel. So those tools are subject to change. Therefore, I look for it the latest. When, as you remember, in the old days, the internet said it will delete TV, the radio. The people thought that TV will cancel or delete radio, and the internet, they thought no, it will delete TV, and newspaper, the illustrated one, that would delete the previous one. So I need to know that the domain itself will not be deleted or it will not be deleted, but the tools themselves will evolve. So how can... Now, this is when I'm concerned. Let me add one point.
عندهم هي إيه؟
Some people are concerned about AI. They think it's a crisis. Anyone can put photo together and cause a scandal. And people are concerned about people who could manipulate photos and cause a scandal. There is another way. I wish that we have more scandals of this sort. For me personally, I wish that those scandals will increase and impact many people. Why? Because we go back to the source. Remember what God said. Remember to the origin, what God said. Before inventing sounds and image, nobody would show you a photo or a video. We need to authentically verify the information. The more scandals we have, society will realize they are just a bunch of lies. People will not take those scandals for granted. So they need to verification. So now, when we have more scandals, it's easy for me. So this is the positive thing of those. So people will turn to religion. If we look at what is the most amazing blessing God grant us, is everything has two sides, positive and negative. We used to have huge scandals to people manufactured by the PC, and people didn't realize it's manufactured scandals. We need to reuse our mind. We shouldn't be concerned about that. And this is another point which is very crucial, which is focus with me here. Sometimes when somebody told me I could, if I have a machine, a robot, could create a trouble and control everything, all aspects of my life, and turn me into a slave. Now I told them, let's imagine together. Imagine with me that what the robot could do, what artificial intelligence could do, what is the limit? And he kept on imagining until he came up with so many things. Eventually, I told him, if you are in this circumstance and this robot got to that point and you decided as a human being to stop it, what would you do? I'll just turn it off. Switch it off, yeah. Unplug it, yeah, as simple as that. Just unplug it. That's it. That's the end of the story. And this is an example that we are talking now. We are so different away from the artificial intelligence. But if that happens, God will give us a way out. So if there is a challenge with artificial intelligence, God will give us some way out. The creator of this universe wants you to be rest assured there is a way out. There is a solution. There is a way out. What matters that you have a sense of safety and security, unless, even if we don't have the solution now, because we are not in the circumstance where we have that challenge. When we get to that bridge, we will cross it. When we have that challenge, we will come up with a solution. So rest assured, it is impossible. It's impossible for the creator of the universe to assign human being as a leader on this planet and replace you with somebody else. Since you are no one can replace you ever on this planet, because God assigned you to dominate this planet. Therefore, we have those concerns that we name irrational concerns. But even if you entertain those irrational concerns, rest assured you are the leader on this planet till the last day. The last aspect now, in the light of this progress and development, in the light of this progress that is taking place beside artificial intelligence, how can I benefit from artificial intelligence? How can I keep pace with artificial intelligence? Remember this. Pay attention to this very accurate information. Time, and time. In the old days, you could have wasted time in the old days. That time that you wasted, now the time that you are going to waste, if you waste time now, it will be really harmful. Please focus. If today, in the old days, if you wasted time in the old days, you miss some progress. But an hour that you waste now, you will miss 8 months of progress. An hour that you miss or you waste now, you will waste 8 months of progress. Why? Because the progress, thanks to artificial intelligence, is accelerating. It's the speed of rocket. If we measure the distance between the time between inventing radio, inventing TV, this is the time. And much less to the colored TV, much less to the internet and technology, much less, and then we are manufacturing graphic and video as quick as we can. The acceleration of the invention of technology is mind-boggling. Now, in the old days, with the first phones, smartphones, when there is any progress on any phone, any device, it would take a long time. But now, within days, an update could upgrade the entire phone. The car manufacturing. In the old days, it would take long for a new car to emerge for automotive industry. So the acceleration of progress that we are witnessing is on the rise. So time, and time. Second point.
استخدم النعمة.
Use the blessing. Use the blessing that you have, utilize it, which is your imagination. I will repeat that sentence. Utilize the imagination that you have been blessed by. No matter how progressed is, you need to use the visualization. In other words, from now, put yourself in your mind, what is the revolution that could emerge from this artificial intelligence? Sit and every day imagine as wild as you can. How can I utilize AI? How can I progress where I become the only one in my field to utilize AI to the best of your capabilities? And The sky is the limit. Keep on your wild imagination. And in terms of using AI, I'm going to repeat my sentence. Please pay attention. A human being, when you are facing a challenge and your mind is systemized to operate in a certain way, that turn off your capabilities, which is our innate intelligence. But when I expand my dream, the more I dream, the more I imagine, the more I visualize, I'll be able to achieve my dream. There is a saying for the Prophet, peace be upon him, that I like to use in terms of in the interpretation of the saying, seek life beautifully because everything is created for a purpose. This text is an amazing text because it incorporates so many meanings. First one, scientifically speaking, psychologically speaking, emotionally speaking, your brain does not distinguish between fact and fiction. If you are innately thinking about creating solutions when you are facing a problem, if you could visualize that you are in that circumstance, your brain will not realize this is imagination. It will deal with it as a fact. Therefore, your brain will start manufacturing solutions. Therefore,
لما خلق
Therefore, you are capable of dealing with what you are tasked to do, because even that is the future is still unknown, that we cannot see, that we cannot know. It's still a creation that is happening already, but it did not materialize yet. Ideas are a creation, and they have an impact, even if they are not real yet they have an impact on you from a psychological point of view, from an emotional point of view. Therefore, thought literally creates either poisons in your bloodstream or endorphins and adrenaline. All of these things happen just through an idea. So I may give you, a joke right now, and it may have an impact on you, while I also tell you another idea or another thing to you that may help you or help your blood make cortisone or poisons. So as long as I'm using this fascinating ability as a human being to imagine as fast or as wide as possible on thinking what can I do with artificial intelligence, and even if the artificial intelligence is still not as developed as it could develop, you could think about how and to what extent it will progress and work on it from now. Number 2, work on such ideas so that you are able to work on achieving them in the future. Number 3, even if this field is not even near to your field of work, it is very important for you to read about it, to take courses in it by this field. I mean, artificial intelligence. Study it, learn about it in various languages, because some people may have a negative idea about artificial intelligence. Some people would say that artificial intelligence is so far away from my field. This is you closing up your mind. You're not really, you shouldn't be waiting for it to catch up with your field. You need to be at the forefront of those who are going to achieve artificial intelligence. So do you want to be a pioneer or an imitator? That's up to you. The more you are taking an initiative and working preemptively, you will be learning way more, gaining way more from those who are imitating. It's very important that we learn from such great developments and think about how can we optimize what we have learned. Because those who have field of experience, we've said before that artificial intelligence would basically change the tool, not the field. So if you are an expert in the field and your awareness while you are looking at artificial intelligence, you can incompensate the artificial intelligence and how you can use it in such ingenious that no one else can use, then you are willing. You are winning. Allah says, or God says that, a paraphrasing of the verse or the ayah is that Allah would not waste the effort of those who work hard. Therefore, if you take a look and read more and learn more about artificial intelligence, you will come up with ideas that may not occur to someone else because you worked hard. The final thing is that, to conclude, wrap this up with, is that AI is created to make the inexperienced come up with products that are close to the experts. If you remember 5 or 10 years ago, if someone shot a video with a regular camera to edit it and add a piece of music to it, they need to study a lot. But now through AI, the AI actually does all the editing for you, does all of the, with a click, you have everything set for you. So how can I make the best of that? As an individual, later on, I'm going to use such tools that is going to save me hiring so many people, yet as an individual, I can do so many other things before, so many other things other than what I used to do before, now that I have more time. Therefore, I need to use such blessing, which is the AI, to minimize my work hours and get the best productivity results. In addition to creativity and what I have now, what you are doing in your field right now, whatever that is, whether you're writing or a simple thing, make sure that AI is going to save you time and effort. Therefore, start now to optimize or make the best of this new blessing so that you are more and more developed. By that, my allocated time has been over, and I'm ready to receive questions. If you have questions, please go ahead. Please, your question. Welcome. Apologies, I cannot hear the speaker if they're not using the microphone. She asked an extremely important question. It's on the psychological dimension that happens to a lot of people. She says that amongst the points I mentioned, number one on how to make the best usage of what is happening is to pay attention to time. If I am paying attention to time and want to make the best of my time and do as much as possible without wasting time, what I said is do not waste your time, I didn't say do not struggle with time. Nobody's running or rushing us, running behind us or rushing us. I could make the best of my time in having, for example, a 2-hour me and myself session without or far away from all type of technology, without mobile, without electricity, without go to the desert, go to the forest, go to nature. These 2 hours is way more beneficial to myself from the 2 hours spent in front of a drama or a movie. So this way, I did not waste my time. I actually made the best of it. So, for example, if I have a course and I will have to watch, for example, this course, do not make the speed ×1 to go through it as fast as possible. No, listen to it as much as possible. Be aware of the programs or the courses in which you find people edit the air out, because that highly intensifies your concentration to the extent that you may not be able to focus. You'll find them that they are in certain edited videos, you don't have pauses. These no pauses would work with ads, but not courses. Some people do that for an hour, a course for an hour. This would actually make you feel nervous. So deal with time calmly yet intelligently. For example, if I used to, for example, people when they started to travel, they used to walk, then they used to ride on the backs of animals. Afterwards, automobiles, and then airplanes. They would use time intelligently yet calmly, not in a rush. What are the psychological issues that may be caused by artificial intelligence? What a beautiful question. As a rule, human beings are the ones who create psychological issues, not the external elements. In fact, what we do is that we basically seize the opportunity and use other things as excuses. If we take excuses, if we consider artificial intelligence as an excuse for more psychological issues, that we will do. The most important thing here is that those who have been using to have excuses from the external factors will have artificial intelligence as a ready-made excuse for them. But in fact, if we focus on the fact that we need to work as hard, and if you have confidence in yourself, in your own abilities, in your own self-development, then you focus on yourself, and then the external elements are really out of your control, so you don't really to worry about them. So it's very important for us to have finding the root. In the fact, the root cause of all of our sociological problem is basically the meaning you allocate to it. So if you control the meaning attached to the psychological issue, then you control your psychological issue. I cannot hear the speaker without using the microphone. Since we are in the land of happiness, the UAE would like to actually salute them for having this wonderful land that spreads happiness. Yet I have this piece of information for you. You know that there are a lot of countries that seek happiness for their people, yet they cannot achieve happiness. Why? Because happiness does not happen from the outside, but from within. So since the people of the UAE are originally happy, now they can give happiness to others. I've dealt with them before. I mean this. As long as you are happy, well, then you're able to produce happiness. So Allah created, or God created the universe. If you have external elements that would enhance your life, but not necessarily your happiness. For example, as someone who is depressed, you give them money, they will use it to enjoy life, but not being happy. But if they are from within feeling happiness, they would be able to produce happiness. So therefore, artificial intelligence is not going to give you neither happiness, nor depression, nor sadness. In fact, if you are already happy, AI will help you have even more happiness in your life. Say as you are, please, and just tell me the question. I will be able to listen to you. She wants to use the microphone. There you go. We will conclude with this question, please. Good evening. It's just a comment. My father is 81 years old. 6 years ago, he started studying Turkish language, and he mastered it. 6 months ago, he started learning Chinese, Mandarin. And I'm always thinking, what is he doing? Up until now, a month ago, he said, please install ChatGPT for me. And I was like, what? I was surprised. I told him, I myself don't really know how to deal with ChatGPT. How are you managing all that? He says, now I want you to download ChatGPT because I heard it will help me learn Mandarin. So the question is, you'll find that this individual is very healthy, living a happy life. Please give him my best. The final question then. I believe he's thanking him for the lecture. I couldn't hear the question. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for the question, and I hope that everyone dealing with young individuals have this wonderful, stimulated mentality to help the young people. Briefly, youth moves through curiosity and gamifying. And highlight this specific word, gamifying. Please research it and go deeper into it. Gamifying, which means make everything a competition, make everything a game. Who watches TikTok? On TikTok, would people think that this is basically nonsense? People pay nonsense for nonsense, but actually it's gamified. Some people would think that, okay, both of them are wasting their money in the shape of games, and people would be like, oh wow, I gave him a line. Oh wow, I gave him blah blah. So this is the most effective way to use. So when you're playing, you know that you are paying your money in nonsense, and you still do it. Why? Because your mind works with gamifying. So the more we incentivize kids through games, through gamification, the more you get out of them. So artificial intelligence, for example, did so and so. Who can do it better than artificial intelligence? Have a competition with rewards, whether moral or physical rewards and awards. That is how you motivate children and youth. Just to conclude with one final word, every individual who thought that they will be replaced by AI, I would like to tell you that the head of OpenAI, who founded ChatGPT, was actually laid off.